Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers, Season 3. As today, things got a mite bit bloody last time around, but we somehow walked out with more warm bodies than we went in with, so I'll call that a win. Even if it did end up costing us most of our gold just to get those injuries treated. That said, a big raider welcome to Verlindane, our greedy but sure-footed anatomist. And it turns out the highest defense on our front line, which is actually why I've shuffled Revenant here to the back line, at least temporarily. Of our frontliners, he was the one with the lowest defense, so it felt a mite bit safer to have him working that pitchfork, at least until we see how those first few defense rolls go. That said, we are currently hurting on cash, so let's grab that next contract, keep this ball rolling. We've got two options to pick from, so hopefully we'll find at least one worth pursuing. You step into Gebert the Elder's room, and he shoves a map into your face. I'm in need of a soldier and explorer, Sellsword, and I think you're just the man to be both in one. Now, before you accuse me of being cheap by not hiring both vocations, let's just say I have plenty of crowns for you to earn in doing this for me. What is it, Well, I know of a place by the name of Bones Rest, but I know not where it is other than it resides north of here in the strip of land called Witchmount Hills. Find it, draw its place on the map, and you'll get the pay of both a soldier and an explorer. Oh, I don't know, bud. That's on the other side of the mountains. That's a bit of a trek. We really need to move away from Loundstedt once we're done here. Get somewhere with some nice, open terrain, easier to pursue odd jobs. Though it would make for nice, low-impact work, give our guys time to recover while still getting paid in the process. He puts his hand on your shoulder, smiling reaffirmingly. I think I know an adequate compensation for your services. It's 350 crowns when the contract is done. I mean, that's not terrible. That's enough for 2 low-end recruits or a stack of supplies. But I'm sure you can do better. Look, we're all friends here, aren't we? Let's see, you're to receive 370 crowns when the contract's done. My man, you got yourself some explorators. Let's get this done. So, Bones Rest, a long way north, near Witchmount Hills. Literally the only area on the map that we're familiar with thus far. So let's see here. We've been up here twice thus far. So I guess our best bet is to just circle back around the mountains, push through this forest, and then perch on this mountain right towards center. That should give us a nice bird's eye view of the entire surrounding countryside. If that doesn't get it done, though, we might be in trouble. That's the big risk when it comes to these survey jobs. If you can't find the location relatively quickly, it can end up becoming a pretty horrendous time sink. Though on the bright side, once we do find it, if it turns out to be something easy... Hey, there we go. Well, it's time to return to Gebert the Elder, as Bones Rest was easier to find than you figured. Marking it on your map, you pause and chuckle and shake your head. What luck! And yeah, that's definitely undead. We'll hold off on that. Though we will tag Rook and Drakiith back in. Still, though, definitely not comfortable going in blind on an undead location, not on day 4. Might hit that up later, though. Once we've got some appropriate tools. Flails for shields, cleavers for weeder gangers. Perhaps a proper longbow for necromancer sniping. For now, though, we'll just go collect our pay. This should also hopefully finish our rep task. You report to Gebbert the Elder, telling him of Bones Rest's location. He nods and scribbles, copying the notes from your map. Curious, you ask how he knows you're not lying. The man sits down in a chair and leans back, clasping his hands over his belly. I invested in a tracker who kept close to your company. He made it here before you did, and you've but confirmed what I already know. Hope you don't mind the measures taken. Nodding, you think it a wise move, and take your pay and go. Hey, long as we get paid. Pleasure doing business, Gebbard. Gebhard. Oof, prices are still pretty rough. Alright, well, keeps us going for another couple of days. Let's grab that last contract and then we'll see where it takes us. While your men venture around town, you go to a pub and take a seat. As soon as you do, a strange man joins you. You with the RetconRaiders? You nod. The man nods back, then reaches into his pocket. You reach for your dagger. The stranger puts his hand out. Easy there. I'm wearing a sword. If I wanted to kill you, taking a seat probably wouldn't be the best route. The man lifts a sheath and bumps the underside of the table. He cocks his head as if to say, "See?" You nod, and the man continues with his move, taking out a note and passing it to you. Local councilman by the name of Gebbard the Elder. He wants to see you again. Yeah? What's he want this time? You find Gebbard the Elder closing a box up. He quickly glances up as though he's been caught with his pants down. Sellsword, thank you for coming. Inappropriate. He locks the latches with a few quick snaps. Then he pats the crate a few times, even leans on it as though it needed one more fat latch. This here cargo has to be delivered safely to Westerholz. A man by the name of Sigmund the Younger is waiting for it. I do not believe the task will be easy, as the cargo is rather precious to certain people, who'd go to great lengths to acquire it. Which is why I'm turning back to a man of your experiences. You interested in doing this for me? I mean, I was getting ready to head on to the next town. Might as well get paid to do it. How much you offering? He smiles. This'll make you a rich man, my friend. It's 30 crowns in advance and another 120 when the job is done. You want to try again? Who do you think you are? I tell you how you're getting paid. Fair enough. Had to try. We'll take it. Deliver cargo to Westerholz, 1 day east. And yeah, I've been reminded that you can always negotiate once without risk of angering your employer. So there's rarely a reason not to. I thought you got a rep bonus for not doing it, but apparently that's not the case. It's actually the opposite. If you do it too much, then you lose the contract and reputation. Anyway, let's hit Westerholz. Hey, nice. An ambition fulfilled. Deciding that Lounstead is a good place to invest your efforts, you decide to offer the protection of the company and take up any work sustainable to your talents. You act like a gentleman in your dealings with the locals and encourage the men to find their manners while in the settlement. There was, of course, some griping at first. Era Bowman was sorely disappointed to give up brawling with the farmers, especially with the RetconRaider spending so much time in Lounstead. But you convinced the men that having a friendly base of operations is important in your line of work, as it meant getting better prices on the market and more people willing to join your motley band. It's also much less tiring not having to dodge the militia all the time. You even enlisted the men to do some small tasks in exchange for nothing but goodwill. I found that little brat who wandered off and dragged him right home, Revenant brags, quickly outvied by Arrow. Oh yeah? Well, I went to the market for the old spinster, split her firewood for winter, and even put out her washing. But I draw the line at rescuing treed cats. You dang well better not. You'll rescue those cats if you know what's good for you. And reputation get. Lovely. No retinue slots just yet, but we couldn't afford it anyway. That said, I think we're just about ready to move on here. How are we looking on prices? Ugh, still awful. But we do need food. Though those prices have much room for improvement. And we push on. And ultimately, I think we want to set our sights on a cluster, like over here. Or possibly along this strip here. Basically anywhere where we can quickly bounce from town to town. Easily completing several contracts in relatively rapid succession. Oh, and we've got brigands. 9 strong, thugs and poachers. Might be a bit of a stiff fight, but you know what? Let's see if we can hedge our bets here. They're trying to avoid that caravan, so we'll just kind of slow them down until it catches up. There we go. Let's do this. Oh, wow. Yeah, these guys are screwed. No wonder they were running. That's a full-on supply caravan, not a trade caravan. Which does mean it'll be a bit of a race to try to get kills before these guys do. Though we don't want to overextend. Our main goal here is to pick off easy kills where we can. And perhaps snag a few quick upgrades. That bow would be nice. We'll be frugal with our approach. Let the soldiers swing around on the wings. With any luck, they'll spread themselves thin, trying to stop the soldiers' advance, giving us a clear column straight down the middle to those poachers. Soldiers are actually a mite bit more aggressive than I was expecting, but yeah, I guess we'll just play this by ear. Whoa! Arrow! Arrow whips off his first stone, glancing off the upper rim of a thug's buckler and crushing his throat. The hapless bandit drops, and the poachers behind him scatter for cover. Instant death by headshot. I think that's a guaranteed armor drop. Hold. And charge. Drakiith takes point. Making contact, but the bandit's leather takes the sting from the bite of his axe. The rest of the raiders quickly follow suit, moving forward to join the fray. Oh. And Drakiith is met in turn with a clumsily swung pickaxe, cartilage crunching as his nose is flattened into his face. The soldiers press in on the wings. Glancing shot from arrow. Drakiith's in peril. May have been a bit hasty there. Should have let the soldiers make first contact. But they swiftly make up for lost time. A soldier rushes in, a sweep of his blade sending a bandit's head tumbling through the air. Random leapfrogs in on the southern flank. A bandit bludgeoner panics, looking around frantically for a means of escape. Verlin takes a glancing hit as he makes his approach. Seized with a panic, the bandit bludgeoner turns to run, and Random's flail whirls. The first strike drives the man to the ground. The second splatters his head across the grass. Drakiith, bloodied but not beaten, holds his ground. Another savage exchange of blows, and the bandit Pikmin's arm is left in tatters. Here he steps up on his flank, driving another foe back. And Rook capitalizes, picking off the disarmed Pikmin. Arrow starts moving up on the flank. Landing another glancing shot on the enemy archer. Whilst Revenant harries a bandit spearman. The soldiers advance. The bandits rout. Random and Verlin swiftly beat one down before he can flee. The soldiers set into the remaining bandits with savage precision. And then there was one. With only the bandit bowman left standing, the raiders rush in, eager to claim their prize. Let's try to box out the soldiers best we can, but I don't think we're gonna get this. Not unless Eerie gets really lucky. Which might happen. I mean, he might land a good, solid headshot. Though we do have multiple soldiers going before he does, so probably not. Oh, yep, there he goes. A final swing of the blade, and the bowman's head goes tumbling. But the raiders emerge victorious. Down one nose, but up to light sets of armor. I mean, nothing to write home about, but we'll take it. Certainly better than tunics and sackcloth. And let's get that level up taken care of. Oh, wow, nice. Yep, go for the Bannerman trifecta. Though we do need to shore up his health at some point. And then as far as perks go, no question there. Straight for dodge. That'll be a huge boost to our early game survivability. We will probably pair that with recovery and or relentless. Though I'm undecided just yet. I mean, obviously it'll also depend on individual builds as our characters start shaping up. And we get a better idea of what roles they'll each end up playing. But in the case of Rook, at least, we know he's destined to become our first banner man. Though we should also get a backup set just in case. You never know. Oh, goodness. That was quick. Peasants might make a good distraction. Oh, wow, no, they cut them down quick, but you know what? We're in it. We'll take our chances. Earn ourselves a proper victory this time. Or, you know, die trying. And yeah, I mean, they're down to one peasant already. There's no way that guy's surviving. Even if we rushed, all we do is tire ourselves out and maybe get within eye shot before he gets cut down. So we hold and wait for them to exhaust themselves, making the approach. Though I would like to grab that high ground. That is not a bad place to set up. Pained cries filter through the forest as the last of the peasants fall prey to the voracious bandits. The raiders could not rescue, but perhaps they can avenge. Weapons gripped grimly in their grasp. They set their jaws and advance. Though perhaps they should have started advancing last round because they can't actually make that elevated in a single turn. See, Pathfinder's one I really need to seriously consider too. I usually take it as a convenience perk, but I'm currently debating on whether or not it's worth it for this particular run. Probably. We're mostly going light armor, so it would help keep our fatigue down for dodge. Arrows sail overhead as the brigands set their sights on the next potential prey. Undeterred, the raiders seize the high ground. Under cover of a literal hail of stones. Contact. A clash of metal on reinforced wood. The raiders' line is set, weapons readied. A light blow struck. Leather torn, but flesh unrent. Arrow lands a glancing blow, winding the bandit bowman. Rook meets an enemy flailman, spearing him savagely with his spetum. Which apparently just counts as a spear now, not a spear polearm hybrid. Which kinda sucks. Random flail whirls, whipping around a bandit's shield once, twice, snapping his ribs, and then his neck. Eerie shreds a bandit swordsman. A glancing blow on random. And Eerie finishes off his foe, the bandit swordsman dropping with a weltering gurgle. The rest of the brigand thugs rush in. Tines pierce flesh as Arrow takes aim. Stones arc over the battlefield, but none find their mark. Verlin takes a glancing strike. Random doles out another of his own. Verlin, growing weary, still lands a precisely placed strike, crushing a bandit flailman's nose. Another strike from Eerie. And a bandit bludgeoner, too smart for his own good, begins circling in on the north. Rook swiftly impales the first bloodied flailman. These guys are going to break any second now. Let's make sure we pin down that poacher. Here he hops from his perch, circling north to intercept the incoming clubber. Rev sets his pitchfork as well. Tines gouge into leather, halting his charge. Arrow finally finds his mark, shattering the bandit bowman's nose. Oop. You know what? I'll take that. Sensing an opening, the bloodied bandit flailman drives Verlin back, knocking him from his perch. Winded, Verlin hangs back, taking a moment to catch his breath. Rook lunges past an enemy axeman, spearing one behind. Eerie is stunned. But as the bandit clubber is overextending, Revenant spears him through the thigh. Verlin takes another hit, his armor in tatters. Arrow responds in kind, landing a glancing hit, but now he too is winded. Two more sweeps of his flail, and Random drops yet another enemy. Whilst Verlin decides that discretion is the better part of valor, retreating into the foliage. Fatigue takes its toll, both sides winded and bloodied. The battle turns to one of attrition. But a swift strike from Rook, and the bandit axeman falls, his brethren broken. The battle is at its end as the raiders rush forth to cut down their fleeing foes. Perhaps in more ideal times they may have showed mercy, but one must remember this particular group of bandits had just slaughtered a hapless pack of peasants. The glimpse of the carnage in the clearing beyond, providing a grim reminder of just that. Finding himself pinned, the bowman drew his skinning knife, desperately fighting for his life. The slinger, though, he had already broken into a full sprint, his strides growing ever longer as he heard the last of his companions, meeting a bloody end behind. Stumbling over the corpses of his former victims, the slinger unfortunately stayed one step ahead of the raiders, so yeah. I think we're Done. And thus it ended. The raiders stood once more victorious, bloodied but unbroken, and eager to claim their prize. A bow, some intact shields, a short sword, plus a modest bevy of supplies. We'll take it. I mean, obviously nothing fantastic, but we're at the stage where every little bit helps. So, bow obviously goes to Bowman. He is our designated sniper. And level ups, let's run through those real quick. Okay, decent rolls. We'll take the melee, we'll take the defense, then we'll bolster Erie's health, push him up towards 60 base. I mean, ultimately we'd like to go higher, but 60 is a good start. As for perks, obviously we grab dodge. Verlin gets a level up. Rolls max on melee, but minimum on defense. But we'll take both. We need them. Oh, Verlin. You are oh so promising, but you're going to need to roll a mite bit higher than that, my friend. And then I guess we'll round out his fatigue. Obvious problem point during the recent fray. And Colossus to help offset that awful health. Which brings us to Rev, who's definitely doing pretty well with that pitchfork. So, you know what? I actually floated earlier that we might need a backup bannerman anyway. He's only got the 1 star in morale, but I think he might fit the bill. I mean, ultimately, I think it will depend on where his defense rolls go over the next couple of levels, but we'd want to get his morale to minimum 60 anyway. So yeah, we'll tentatively push him towards backup bannerman, but we'll see where he ends up in another level or two. For now, though, just keep rocking that polearm. Which leaves Drakiith, the odd man out, still stuck at level 1. We'll help him out a little, toss him that sword. That's a mite bit easier to hit with. Backup knife to Erie for potential armor harvesting. Swap in the proper shields. Even though it does hurt us on fatigue. And we push on. I would like to at least make it out to Westerholz before we call it. Will we actually make it? I think we will. Finally, you've made it. Sigmund the Younger is standing there in the middle of the road, his hands clasped over his stomach, a slick grin on his cheeky face. Sellsword, I was not sure you'd make it. You lug the cargo up and hand it over. Oh yeah? And why do you say that? The man takes the box and hands it off to a robed man, who quickly hurries away with it, tucked under an arm. Sigmund the Younger laughs as he hands you a satchel of crowns. The roads are rough these days, are they not? You understand he's just making small talk. Anything to get your attention off of the cargo you just handed over. Whatever, you've got your pay. That's good enough for you? It is indeed. Ooh, festival. Or local holiday, rather. That means discount food. Though it is also night, so we can't trade till morning. Not much else of note here. We've got the taxidermist for making animal trophies and such. 2-skull contract and offing. Might be a bit much for us right now, but maybe. Depends on what it is. We need to wait till morning for cheap food and potential trade supplies. But let's see what they're offering. You find Elmer of Westerholz studying a few maps on his desk. He trails a finger to the edge of one map and continues it onto another. I need an escort for a caravan to Helvik, 2 days northwest of here. Will it be dangerous? Of course. That's why I go to you, Sellsword. Are you interested? Oh, I don't know about that one, buddy. 2 days, that's kind of rough, but we are also right in the middle of nowhere. So this would potentially get us into a much better questing loop. Northwest? That would be the triangle we saw, I think. Just past Witchmount Hills. He opens the palm of his hands. I'm tight on crown, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. You're to receive 780 crowns when the contract is done. Oh, that's actually not terrible. And it would get us where we want to go. We got any wiggle room on that? No. It's 780 crowns when the contract is done. All right, okay. I will tentatively accept Helvik, 2 days northwest, but stall so I can get a gander at where that actually takes us. Okay, yeah, right up towards that trifecta. Helvik, Damwald, Oberberg, and then honestly not too far off from these other northeast towns as well. So, I wasn't planning on going to the frozen north so soon, but it's not a bad place to be. Lots of potential loot. Barbarian thralls go down pretty easy. Route's pretty straightforward, basically the road we just came in on, which we already cleared on the way here. It would mainly just be this north-south stretch we'd have to worry about. Could stack up 5-10K, grab a quality recruit or two, with a little left over to head south and hopefully grab a gun. I feel like there's some strong possibilities there, though obviously, again, we'll want to wait till morning. At the very least, I'd like to do a little trading first. Grab some food, maybe some cheap trading goods. Possibly another warm body or two. We can't afford anything high-end, but, really at this stage, any idiot will do. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll push the clock out to morning, take care of the trading and such off-screen. And we'll pick up here next time, as we set our sights to the north. Go make some cold cash. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Erie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.